Alright, guys, so I know you're not seeing my face right now, but that's okay. Look at Ty, she's cute. I have taken out one of the blanket stitch thing. This guy, this stuff right here. I seam ripped it out because I wanted to see exactly what was wrong with, this seam here. And
get coffee. I'll make sure you have fresh, good coffee, okay?
okay, thank you. Mother-in-law's getting me coffee. I love it. Anyway, so I took out the stitching here because it was all puckered in and stuff. And I took it out, and I'm pleasantly surprised to find that we didn't lose any of the fabric. I'm not quite sure why he did what he did, or they did what they did. Rather, because I don't know. Honestly, it doesn't even matter. But yeah, see, this is the stitches that I took out right there, and surprisingly, it looks great. So what I'm going to do is I've got to run some errands real quick, and then I'm going to come back and we're going to take all of these stitches out and see if it comes out looking as pretty as these guys. But the positive thing is I also got fabric for her face. This is really soft. I love microfleece. First time I've ever used it. So I'm also hoping that this isn't going to be too much to replace, but I have that color. So stay tuned, everybody, and we will get back to this. I also kind of wish that I had filmed the shopping trip at Joann's, because the lady behind the counter that was cutting our material knew exactly who she was and kind of reacted the same way that I did about the project. But it's okay. She's going to look great. All right. So I'm back, and we're going to pull the rest of these stitches down at the bottom of Star's dress here to see if it comes out looking like this. Otherwise, that's as far as I'm going to go with this today, because I'm going to need to test out the embroidery pattern. I will probably show that to you guys later. The music in the background doesn't belong to me, but it's a really cool background track that I found, done by a couple of composers. One is Adrian Von Ziegler, and the other one is Derek and Brandon Fetcher. Pardon me for messing that up if I did, but the actual music is called King of the Woodlands, by like Celtic or something, but it's really pretty music and I like it in the background. It helps calm me down, keep me all motivated and whatnot, at least today anyway. Alright, so let's get to this. We'll bust out my handy dandy seam ripper here, and let's see what you look like under all these stitches here. So yeah, we're trying something a little different. I've got my wife holding the camera this time because obviously I don't have 3 arms, so I can't camera, seam ripper, doll. It doesn't exactly work that way. But what I wouldn't give to be an octopus sometimes, I think I would get so much more done. That's looking real good because it's already coming out like this, where it's just letting itself go. I'm not exactly positive what these stitches were meant for, to be honest, because so far every single set that I've pulled out, there really hasn't been any damage to the plush or dress itself. But last night when we went to Joann's, I couldn't find the right color green. Come on, Joann's, get on top of this, right? But that's okay, because it looks like we aren't actually going to need it, which is a plus, because this will make this a lot simpler, and this will go quicker if it's just done like this. But obviously I think it's a no-brainer, but for those of you that are learning to sew, always use the same color thread as the project you're working on. Even if you have stitches that look kind of rough, you'll see them less. But, that's just a thing. I think everybody starts off with the whole, Oh, well, thread's thread, but, you know, I'm not an expert. Well, not really. Just can't really master something, I suppose. Don't ask me. It's early. I'm tired. I've really only had a little bit of coffee today. Oh, and that's Jingles in the background because Pan is getting her exercise time over here, so you'll hear that going every now and again. Hey, Pan. You're cute. Alright, we're almost done here. Just trying to be really careful not to actually put any holes in the fleece itself, because that wouldn't be good. Keep in mind, this isn't the only kind of music I'll have going, in the background. There's some times where I just sort of delve into screaming at me rock and roll, and sometimes I'll play Eminem. Don't get me started on all of his feuds. I'm not exactly going to offer my opinion on that, because apparently that's the thing to do now. Alright, well, so I got all of the stitches out of the bottom of her dress. I see why the stitches were put in there, because as you can see, the original stitching on here came out, but we'll fix that up, because the original artist has these cute little like hidden stitches in here. I mean really you can't see them too close, except for this right here where you can see where it's knotted, but that looked great. That, and I see why he did what, the customer did what they did, because I mean, look at this, it's such pretty thread. Thankfully I have some like this. So I'll just tighten that off and re-sew her skirt back down with some more of those cute little hidden stitches. And I think that her dress otherwise is perfect. I don't think it's going to need any other things done to it. I might clean up the top seam a little bit just because that's a bit rough. But that's just me being a bit picky. A little bit of a perfectionist there. Okay, well, as you can see, we started with some really kind of crinkled up, stitching done here at the bottom to hold, the seam in place. We took that all out, and this is all completely salvageable. We'll take and we'll restitch this down here in a little bit, and then I'll update you again and show you what's going on next. But after we get the dress taken care of and fixed up, I am going to go ahead, and the customer requested that we make it more secure to her so that it wasn't, I guess, so floppy, but I don't honestly know what they're talking about, but we'll customer's always right, so we'll do it, but it's not that big of a deal. I'm gonna have to take her dress off of her anyway so that we can take care of some of these. So I think that's the next project I'm going to work on before we get to her face, and after I test out the pattern to make sure that it came out looking right, we'll go ahead and we'll clean up some of her body stitches. We'll take her head off, see if we can salvage the back panel, because it's not as worn as, you know what I mean. I mean, obviously this is a mess, but you can see where this has been exposed to more light than this, so you can see more of the true color back here. And so when we were in Joann's, that's how we color matched her, is we lifted up her hair and kind of went with that, because this stuff has been played with and messed with, and as you can see, it's going to be a slightly different color because this has had more hands on it, room dust, that kind of thing. But she's looking great. Obviously the big thing's going to be her face, but we're going to do the minor cleanup and stuff first, and then we'll get to the big project and get her face and her bangs taken care of. She's going to look great. I'm really excited to get this done. At the moment, she kind of scares children. My son came over and he was like, "Oh, that's the plush." And it's like, yeah, it is. But yeah, like I said, I really wish that I had been filming when we were at Joann's yesterday, because even the lady that cut our material was like, oh man. But, so, thank you for watching part 3 of Star Butterfly's resurrection and facial transplant. Please like and subscribe. I wouldn't exactly share this video. I mean, you could, but it's kind of low quality, you know, because it's me. Yeah, I know. I roll. I'm so self-detrimental sometimes. Anyway, love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. See you later.